Another approach to taking the story past the rough draft into the story is to actually make frames that represent the beginning, the middle, and the end. This format is more like a graphic story format or a cartoon, and it allows you to show a progression of things happening in the scene. So to do my beginning, middle, and end graphic story, I'm actually going to get a ruler, and I'm going to draw 3 frames that I'm going to work in. You could also use 3 smaller pieces of paper, or you could use an even larger piece of paper than what I have here to give myself more room to work. And you could make all 3 of your frames the same size, or you could have one scene be given priority, like to seem the most important by making it larger. So I think I'm going to make my middle larger. In my middle frame, I'm going to have the fire in the kitchen. In the beginning frame, I'm going to set the scene for my sister and I, so maybe I'll just make some notes. So my middle frame, I'm going to have my stove with my pot on it. And you can practice draw all these elements. I'm just sort of putting something down really quickly to give you a sense of how you might lay out your scene. So I can do a little bit of additional things to set the scene that it's a kitchen. And again, I'm working really fast because I just want to lay down a draft that then I could translate to another page. So I've got my cupboards, and maybe there's a window behind the stove, and maybe it's got a blind partway down it. And then this is a great place to show the time of day. So maybe outside there's some trees, and maybe it's going to be brightly colored so that it looks like it's lit by sunlight. So now I've got kind of my kitchen setting established. And now this is going to be the fire, and this is going to be the 2 characters running in to put out the fire. So maybe they're running right across from the other frame. And I'm just kind of doing some searching line, loose drawing. Maybe their arms are up and they're yelling, "Oh no, there's a fire!" And then maybe this character has a pot lid in their hand. So I'm just really playing with the line and trying to figure out how I'm going to, maybe they're, "Oh no!" So I don't let the details of the people scare me. I just kind of go for it. And you know, I could fix, like, I could do a little bit more work on this and see if I think that I need a different body stance. You know, maybe how that pot's being held doesn't really get across the idea. Maybe the pot lid needs to be bigger. So I'm really not getting too worried about looking like a photo. And then once I've got my plan, then I can figure out if there's places that line overlapped and stuff that I'm going to eliminate. So this kind of becomes my rough draft that then I can decide how I want to change. And this could be very bright and around. That's the other thing. Tone can start to tell you a bit about a place. So maybe inside's a little darker because I created tone. And maybe this is carpet. So sometimes texture or pattern can tell you it's carpet. It's going to tell us that this is the outdoors. And this is where color, again, can really help. Because I can really quickly say that this is lawn just by how I color it. And that this is blue sky outside compared to the inside that maybe is full of smoke. And maybe the 2 girls are waving towels or something to try to wave the smoke out. So you can see how, okay, we're waving the smoke out. We've got the fire. And the beginning, maybe the 2 girls are going to be in separate rooms. So maybe one is in the kitchen and one is in the living room. You know, and this is where you can start to think, well, is my format working? Maybe I need to make it this way. And one of them is in the living room, sitting in a chair. So I'm not doing any kind of detailed drawing here. This is pretty basic. But it still gives you a sense of some kind of action happening. And then maybe the other girl is in the kitchen. So once I've kind of got my plan laid out, I can start to do my beginning, my middle, and my end story. As you do a more complicated story, really all you have to do is add in the number of squares that you want. So you come up with your rough plan of how you're going to break up the action and scenes for your story, and then translate it into your drawing. And your drawing doesn't have to be super detailed. Again, things like color, pattern, how the light is being cast in the room can really start to lend an atmosphere to the scene. So, maybe the area is dark in this room, except for around the TV. So line can be used to create tone as well as color. And I can layer line to make tone darker. And then maybe in the kitchen there's more light from that window behind me. And by adding in the same layout, it gives me continuity. It gives me a sense of that I'm going in the same house from one scene to the next. So I hope that gives you a real sense of how you can plan out translating a story into a drawing, both a simple drawing or a more complicated graphic story that has different frames with different parts. I hope you have a lot of fun with this.